This is the Season 9 preview in the Road to Glory save with Aveley FC, and in this episode we're going to sign some players and see how close we can get to maybe promotion to the Premier League. I'm probably being a bit ambitious though. So I'll say about our promotion to the Premier League. Obviously this season, last season, we're in that in-between stage at the moment. We finished 14th. We had a terrible first half of the season, but we had a really good second half of the season once we decided to go attacking, which the board wanted us to do all along. I should have just listened to them. So yeah, we finished 14th on 61 points. A long way away from the playoffs, but also a long way away from relegation as well. It's pretty much mid-table, just about bottom half of the table. If we have a look at our squad, we'll have a look at it on the tactics screen. The players that are either in the first team or on the bench are players that are currently staying with the club or will be staying with the club unless someone comes in with a bid for them. And I actually don't think we've got a bad team, and we showed that certainly in the second half of last season. And I'm probably looking at anyone I bring in is only going to be as a improvement to what we've already got. And then the ones that are currently in the first team would then drop down to be backup. Do that as much as possible. Anyway, we do have nearly 2 million, I think it is, in the bank as a transfer budget, 1.9 million, with 79,700 wage budget, which is about 22,000 wage budget spare. And I've been having a look in our scouting centre. If we have a look at the shortlists that we've got, and we want to go to the slightly interested one. So these are some players that I've put into our slightly interested shortlist. And we've got this guy here, Tishan Proctor, who's an attacking midfielder on the left, can play in the middle, can play up front. He's 4.5 stars. I think it's 3 stars. Yeah, he's 3 stars when he's in the role that Ricardo Caterino is in. But certainly he looks like the kind of player, especially with 16 pace, 13 acceleration, that we could actually use as an advanced forward up front. We've got Costello at the moment, and he's got some potential as well. He's got the potential to be 4.5 star, and he is available for £500,000. So he's potentially a player we could look at bringing into the team. I have highlighted this guy as well, Cake, who he is actually wanted by other Brazilian clubs. I don't think we'd get him, because he would probably prefer to stay in Brazil. But he can play in the defensive midfield role as a deep line playmaker, 3.5 stars. That would certainly be an improvement on what we've got. I'll say it'd be an improvement. What we've got at the moment is Bruce Pratt, who's 3 stars current ability. So in that case, it would be an improvement on him. But Bruce Pratt is a 3.5 to 4.5 star potential player. He's been here with us for a couple of years, or 3 years actually. He's improving all the time. I really want to give him a chance, as we did last season, to actually nail down that place and form a great partnership with Jacob Devaney, which he is doing at the moment. So I'm undecided about Cake, but I really would like a Brazilian. I haven't had a Brazilian, I don't think, in this save yet. Oliver Presley is another one as a striker. I mean, he's got 16 finishing, 16 for acceleration. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a striker like that. He doesn't really score many goals, or didn't score many goals for Cambridge, but when he's at Southend and Stevenage, reasonable amounts, especially Stevenage. 22 years old, he's still young. We could certainly mould him. He's a player I'm keeping an eye on, let's put it that way. Darren Roberts as well from Wrexham. He's available for up to one. I mean, it would take most of their transfer budget, 1.3 million. And I don't think he's quite that level. He can play, we'd look at playing him in the attacking midfield centre role as an attacking midfielder. He is 3.5 stars according to our assistant manager, which when you look at what we've got at the moment with Ricardo Caterino, he's 3 stars, but he was phenomenal for us. He came in the January transfer window, 17 starts, or 17 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists. He was electric for us, and I really don't want to replace him. And if I do replace him, it'll have to be with someone that is definitely better. Then we look at Jordan Stone, who can play in the middle of defence. He's 6 foot, can play on the right side, but he's 3.5 stars as a central defender. He's got a few reds on there as well. He's red for determination, red for bravery. He is red for aggression, red for balance. He can head a ball. He's got reasonable jumping reach as well. He would be an improvement, and he's got the potential to improve even further. He would be an improvement in the centre of our defence, and he's someone that at the moment I'm really keeping an eye on because I am tempted to really go for him. Then we've got Giuseppe Barbaro, who is German, although he does sound a bit Brazilian or South American at least. He can play an attacking midfield role as well. He prefers to be an advanced playmaker or shadow striker. I'm not against that. But again, do I want to replace Caterino with someone that's not that much of a difference? So, yeah, we've got some players here. In case you missed the last episode where we went through the free transfer youngsters we've got coming in. Now, some of these are coming in with a view to us putting them in the under 18s, under 21s, selling them on as a bit of a profit. We have Graham Jones is probably one of those. He's a right back, 2-star current ability with 3.5 to 4.5 star potential. Then we have Ainsley Burbidge, who I must admit I am considering this guy for the first team. He's what Man City do some really good players. He's only 18, he's 6'4", and he's already looking really, really good. And he would absolutely go in ahead of Christopher Shepherd, who we've got in at the moment. Then we've got Sammy Ballinger, who again is another Manchester City player. Another one with 5-star potential as a right back as well. We could move him onto the right back position and move Mbengui onto the left. That's a thought. Then we go into midfield. We've got Gunlauger Johnson from Chelsea. Probably not someone I'm going to bring in as a first teamer. He's probably one of those we'd be looking to make a profit on. Then we've got Neil Lovell, again from Manchester City, who I must admit, I am looking at someone that we could potentially bring into this team. He's 2.5-star current ability with 5-star potential. He's kind of competent in the attacking midfield role. His passing, his technique and his teamwork is absolutely amazing. But I'm just not sure he quite fits our tactic at the moment. Then we have James Saunders from Manchester United, who again is a central midfielder. 2 stars current ability, 5-star potential. He likes to be in that box-to-box midfield role. He's got 20 for determination. We could probably train him to drop back or to go forward a little bit maybe. Things we'll look at once they actually arrive through the door in around a month's time. Now, we have, if I can find it on here, if we look for youth. So I did make some requests to the board. I asked them if they'd improve our youth training facilities. No. I asked them if they'd increase our youth level. No. I asked them if they'd improve our youth recruitment. They said yes. Now, at the moment, our youth recruitment is half a grade star. So it'll be interesting to see how much that improves. Back to this kind of thing as well with the favoured personnel bit, and I've got a real issue with the fact that I'm only the favoured personnel. I'm not an icon or a legend, even though I've taken Aveley from the National League South to the Championship. I mean, Amadou Mbengui, who's been with us for one season and had a good season, is on the favoured personnel, same as me. I mean, what have I got to do to get a bit of respect around this club? Really? Right. So what I will probably do now, we have, if I can find the contracts, here we go. So we've got player contracts expiring. I have set most of them to release. Igatij, I don't know if I want to release him or not. He's 3 stars, 3.5 star current. He was really good for us the season before last with 15 goals in 38 games in League One. Struggled a bit this season. I mean, to be fair, he's had 15 starts, 19 of those appearances have been from the bench, but he's not been great. Do we want him as a backup? I've got a month to decide. Joe Rye, I was having an iron about, but you know what? I think I'm actually setting Joe Rye for release. He's currently on 1.8k. We can put that somewhere else. So I will come back to you probably around the 1st of July when we get some more free transfers about, and I'll let you know if we've made any more signings. So I asked the board if they would consider expanding the stadium. I thought that'd be a better option than building a new one. They rejected it. I went and had a chat with the board, tried to convince them, and as you can see from this, Che Genovese, our director apparently, we still feel a modest upgrade comes with a large financial risk, and we would rather we were selling out for the majority of games first. We therefore reject your request. That concludes this meeting. In future, please do not waste their time with things like this. Well, I would just point them towards the fact that our average attendance is 4,803, which is less than 1,000 under our capacity. And this brings me back to what I said before, that all the time we're stuck with such modest facilities as what we've got. It's just going to be such a struggle. We've got 5.7 million in the bank. Yes, we have got a bit of a debt from a loan of 625,000, which, to be fair, they could just pay that off with what they've got in the bank. Finances are secure, but yeah, the board are just not willing to take a chance. So another sign of how Aveley are such a small team, the Sky Bet Championship sponsorship table was topped by Everton, their sponsors backing their team with around 35 million. Us, by contrast, £900,000. The average for the Sky Bet Championship is 9.25 million. We basically get 10% of the average. I think that's an example of we're just not competing in any way, shape or form. In terms of transfers, we have had all the youngsters have come in now. They've been, I think we've got a couple of them, Lovell and maybe Burbage, I think, that we've put into the first team. The others are in the under-21s. If we have a look at who could be coming in, that's not the one I wanted. Where are we? Future transfers, is it? Eddie Beach is coming in as a backup goalkeeper. He improves what we've got at the moment. 3-star current ability of 3.5-star potential. And it also means that we do now have 3 goalkeepers, because the only other goalkeeper we had was in our under-18s and we've released him because he's rubbish. I think there might be some transfer news on here as well. There we go. We've got this chap as well, live. Brian Okonkwo Belongo. He can play centre-back or out on the left. 6'2". He can play the wing-back position to 3.5-star ability, which if we have a look at our tactic at the moment, we've only got Reece Devine, who's 2.5-star, so that's definitely an improvement out there and gives us a bit of depth with Reece Devine dropping down to the bench. We are waiting as well to see if Mbengui will get allocated another ESC spot. I'm hopeful we should be, but if not, we're losing one of our best players of last season. So the fixture lists are out for the new season, and we've got the season preview here as well. Surprise, surprise, we're expected to finish bottom. In terms of our first games of the season, we play Bristol Rovers on our first game of the season, who are the next team above us. Then we've also got Plymouth and Rotherham in the games after that. So we've got a nice start to the season in terms of our first 3 games. Then we've got Blackburn, and then we've got Reading. If we have a look at the schedule, Bristol are at home as well, then Rotherham away, Plymouth at home, and like I said, then we've got Blackburn, Reading, Leeds and Birmingham. Leeds up here, Birmingham, not sure. Birmingham are down here. Now, when they recently showed the signings of the season out, and Mbengui was actually on there as like about the 5th best sign of the season. Everton last season signed Emil Smith-Rowe. I mean, that's the gap between us and Everton. We're signing Mbengui on a free transfer, and they're signing Emil Smith-Rowe. This league just is not fair. So we made an attempt to sign this guy here, Fresnel Ngoy, 19-year-old attacking midfielder, released by Manchester United. He's left us, or he's rejected us to take up Huddersfield. I mean, look at that value, 10.5 to 12.5 million that they've got for him. Huddersfield are in the Championship with us. They've obviously got a better reputation than us, so he turned us down to go with them. We were offering him the same wage as well. We have also put in an offer for somebody else. Here we go. Tiaguino. We're going to go with that. He's available on a free transfer, but Wrexham and Ross County have put in a bid for him. Now, Wrexham, they're in the Championship. They have a slightly higher reputation than us. Ross County, obviously in Scotland, they have a slightly higher reputation as well. I don't think we're going to get him now that they've come in for him. And this is the issue we're having with trying to improve the team. So we've got a batch of trialists that just come in. Thought, well, I'd show them to you while we're here. So we've got Mamadou Kane, presuming that's Kane, 4-star current abilities, a centre back, 6'2", reasonable heading, reasonable jumping, reaching and tackle and mark. Very determined, he's brave, he's got good stamina, quite strong. He actually looks a really good player. He prefers to be a no-nonsense centre-back, but can be a central defender. Can he be a central defender on defend? Yes. So let's ask the agent about his availability. He's slightly interested, not going to give us too much information. Blah, blah, blah. 3.7 to 4.6. We're putting an offer for him. If we find someone better, we can always say no. Ooh. I mean, that's a funny 4.7. I mean, what are you doing to me? That's gone red. What is the maximum we can have? 8.25. I mean, that would probably put us over or close to over our wage budget. I think we're going to have to walk away. I mean, that is ridiculous. Why say that amount when you're not going to do it? David. So he can come in as a defensive midfielder, ball winning, deep line playmaker, good determination. I mean, he actually looks pretty reasonable as well. I mean, we've got Devaney and Pratt for a midfield, but he would be an improvement on Devaney, to be fair. Then we've got Francesco Scarparo. He can play centre-back as well. He's 6'1". He's got good jumping reach, not great heading, but can tackle and mark a little bit. Can be a central defender, 4 stars. He's weak on his left foot, but very strong on his right foot. I mean, just out of interest, let's just see what they're asking for him. So we're keen on, he's slightly interested. We're going to get 10.2 to 12.25. What is my director of football doing? I think we'll just say stall on that one. Thank you very much. And here, this is the thing. We can't afford these good players. Ramon Travers. Again, he can be a deep line playmaker. I mean, he's so much better than Bruce Pratt, to be fair. He doesn't like big matches. But at least he's not injury prone. He can use both feet. So again, let's have a look at what the agent's going to say. 7.7 to 9.5. Oh. It's not really an area we're jumping at doing. So maybe no to that one. Daniel Paul Dalton, 3.5 star. He's not really going to improve at all. He can play out on the left. Doesn't really jump out at me. Vittorio Magni. I mean, we're getting a lot of exotic names here, aren't we? What's he want to do? He wants to be a right back. I mean, it'd be better than what we've got, that's for certain. 25-year-old Italian. Let's see what his agent's saying. 6.6 to 8.5. I mean, that would kind of move in Beng. I mean, that's someone we might consider if in Bengal he doesn't get a work permit. Sam Curtis, 4-star right-sided wing-back. I mean, he actually looks pretty decent and pretty rounded, this guy. We might be about to make an offer. Let's see what we can do for him. Offer, approach to sign. Yearly wage rise of 10%, but I'll take that out anyway. That'll get reduced to 20%. Minimum fee release clause. Can we have that up to... No, only go up to 2.4. That's fine, put it up to 2.4. Relegation release clause won't be any higher. Sell on fee percentage we'll remove. The rest of it we'll just leave as it is. And now he wants 8. So that they're only prepared to go up to 2. So if we can bring this down to 7... Okay. Well, we might be about to sign a 4-star right back, in which case he would slot in there and Bengui can then be our cover to go between the two. So that could potentially be a good signing. Charlie Sayers, what's he want to do? So he wants to be a wide centre back. We don't do anything that exotic at Aveley, but he can be a central defender. He actually looks a good player as well. But I mean, I can't sign all of these, but we could certainly ask. Do you know what? We're going to go for him. He's one that can play on the left side as a central defender. Where am I looking? Here we go. Approach to sign. 7.5. Take that out. I mean, that needs to be $1 million. We'll up that to 500,000. Take that down. Right, we'll leave those as they are, but this needs to come down. He's not budging at all on that. If we can give him a slightly larger signing on fee, 195, bring that down to there. Okay, he's accepted that. Right, what I think we probably need to do is go into here, because we're committed to spending well over. Right, we can take that down to here and gives us £100,000 in the wage budget. Kelvin Flores. Yannick Rochelt. Sure, that's not how you pronounce his name. 32 years old. Lewis Palmer, 31 years old. I mean, he looks decent, to be fair, but we have to start being a bit picky with who we bring in. Greg Taylor's a left back, 33 years old, no. Pablo Moreno. He's played with Ajax. He's been at Man City. I mean, I'll say he's played at Ajax and Man City. He's not actually made an appearance for them, but he's been on their books at least. He can be a winger, both sides on 4 stars. He can also be an advanced forward. I mean, we don't really need an attacker at the moment. Simone Davies, 31, he's 32. Simone Mazzocchi is a potential 32-year-old striker. At least he can finish, which is a bonus. Then we've got Jay Stansfield, 28 years old, 4 stars, as a striker, can do the advanced forward to pressing forward. I wonder how much he would want, because we've only got 2 strikers at the moment. Oh wow, no. Unfortunately, we cannot do 14 grand. That is absolutely no. Tom Holmes, 6'1" centre back. He's aggressive, he's brave, he's determined, he's strong. I mean, he actually looks decent as well. How much does he want? 21 grand, 26? No. Sorry, mate. You're at the wrong club. Right. Well, that's the players we've got coming in. Missed one there. Edon Zagrova, Kosovan. I mean, he's quite useful to have, isn't he? So he's 32 years old. He's got no obvious cons. He's consistent as well. Let's see what 7. Let's see if we reduce that. We'll agree to that for now. Let's approach to sign and see what he says when we get to the table. That will come down. We can take off the unused substitute fee. Don't mind all this, don't mind that. Can we get him down at all? Oh, there goes, accepted 7,000. Right, well, if all of them go through, then we've brought in some pretty decent players. We've certainly cemented our defence, added a bit of quality up front. I'm pretty certain they're all going to end up going somewhere else, because that's usually what happens. But we could have just signed a few decent players. I'll bring you back when we know what's happening. Right, it's game day, folks. The 2nd of August. It's about to play our first game of the season. Let me bring you up to speed on what's happened, because we have made some transfers. So here we are. If you've not seen what we've done at the end of last season, we brought in Graham Jones down to Semi Ballinger, 3 transfers from Premier League clubs. We also brought in Brian Akono Bilongo, 29-year-old, can play centre-back or left-back when he's 6'2", so he would be a pretty decent height for us at centre-back. He can play a central defender role as well. He will be lining up as a left-back. He was originally 3.5 stars when he came in, but his star rating's dropped down due to some of the other players that we've brought in, and you'll see those shortly. But he's an improvement on Reece Devine out on the left, so great news with that one. Then we move over to what we've done this season. Now, in terms of going out, Cameron Jude, he's only a 1-star, maybe 2-star potential ability player for us. He's gone out on loan to Coshalton for 1.2k. We've also got another one of their youngsters going out on loan to Folkestone. Both clubs are picking up most of his wages, so I'm quite happy with that. We brought in a backup goalkeeper in Eddie Beach, 2.5-star current, 3-star potential. Again, he was 3-star current, but he's an improvement on Jacob Knightsbridge, who was a backup goalkeeper, but at least now we do also have 2 backup goalkeepers for Josh McNamara. We brought in Charlie Sayers, 3.5-star current ability, same potential, 6-foot centre-back, just looks pretty decent all round really, quite happy with him. He is suspended for our first game of the season, which is not ideal, but we'll have to live with it. Edon Zagrova, 32-year-old Kosovan that we brought in on trial. We brought him in because he can pretty much play anywhere across this area, anywhere across the attacking midfield roles. He can also play up top. 3.5 stars in all those positions. He looks pretty decent. He has picked up an injury recently and he's playing through it. I think it was a fractured wrist, so he's going to play through that. Sam Curtis has come in as well as a right-back stroke, right-sided centre-back. He looks really decent. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, 25-year-old Irishman. David Mutungurwa, I think that's right, but probably not. Look at that determination. He is a determined young man. 23 years old, 3.5-star current, 4-star potential. The reason why I brought him in is I panicked that we basically, other than Devaney and Pratt, that are starting midfielders, we only had Mike McGrath that can play in the midfield. So I panicked, brought in David Mutungurwa, as he can play in the ball-winning midfield. I mean, he's as good as Devaney. It's a toss-up between him and Devaney as to who starts. And then Adria Capdevella, we brought in 3-star current, 3-star potential. He's a backup deep line playmaker, basically. And if we look at our tactics screen, that is how we look for the start of the season. Now, Zagrova is fit enough to play, so he may well play. We do have, obviously, Ewan Todd that we can bring up there as well and play him. He may well get the start to begin with, and we just have Zagrova on the bench. Charlie Sayers is obviously suspended, so he will come out and Obasi will go in, and then we'll just find another defender that we can put. Who we're going to put down here? Maybe Reece Devine. Then we've got the left side covered as well. I'm really happy with this team. I think we've got the makings of a really good team here. I hope I'm not getting too excited and too carried away. But yeah, all in all, I am delighted with this team. I think this could be something special. I really do. Then if we go and look at staff transfers as well, because that's been a thing that's happened. So we've had Pal Martio, assistant manager, has left to go to Wimbledon. We did offer him a new contract, but he decided to go there anyway. Fine. Richard Gordon, one of our scouts, left to go to Dundee as a scout. We've brought in a couple of recruitment analysts. Look at how posh we're getting. We've actually got a loan manager that we've brought in as well. We've brought in a scout from Alloa. We've brought in a coach, another scout as well from Maidenhead. And our new assistant manager, Misha Visser. He's literally just joined us. People management is great. Motivation is great. Judging player ability is great. Judging player potential is pretty good. He's got the hallmarks of being an amazing assistant manager. So, yeah, that is where we stand. If we have a look at the competitions and have a look at the season preview again, see if anything's changed there. I mean, we've improved. It was 300 to 1. We're now 250 to 1. So we have got better. And like I said earlier, we've got a pretty decent start to the season as well. And all round, I am really excited to get into the new season. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now. and I'll see you after the transition for the update on the first half of the season, which should be around the 1st of January. So we had an email come through giving us the opportunity to change the season expectations from attempt to avoid relegation to either avoid relegation or something else. I think that was not being a relegation battle or something. And I opted to change to avoid relegation. And the reason why I opted for that is because of this and how well we have been doing. So as you can see up here, we are 5th in the Sky Bet Championship. There was a period in the season around here at the beginning where we was actually top of the table. This has been insane. This attacking tactic, it works, it scores goals. It really is an amazing tactic. It's not quite as good away from home, but we'll get to that in a moment. If we have a look at the competitions that we've been in, so it's only the League and the Carabao Cup to start with. So if we have a look at the Carabao Cup, we had a weird Carabao Cup. We first played against Coventry and got a 1-1 draw and went through after penalties. Then in the second game, we had Cheltenham. They were of League Two, so I had a massive change up of the team. Neil Lovell played, for example. Ainsley Burbage played. We gave some players that are not normally going to be in the team a bit of an opportunity. That finished 1-1. We won on penalties as well. And then we played Chelsea and 0-0 draw, and then we lost on penalties. So a bit of a weird competition. It was all penalty shootouts. I was quite pleased with that to begin with, that we only lost on penalties to a Premier League team. Until that is, I actually saw who they played in the 4th round, and they lost to Bristol City. Bristol City are in the Championship with us, so they're down by the relegation areas down here. So that kind of took the sting out of it a little bit. But yeah, 3rd round FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. We are in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, obviously. We'll get to that shortly as well. In terms of the Sky Bet Championship, if we have a look at the competitions here, and yeah, I did say at the beginning of the season that we had what looked to be a favourable set of fixtures to begin with, and so it worked out 5-3 against Bristol Rovers, 4-3 against Rotherham, 5-1 against Plymouth, 3-0 against Blackburn. We were just eating goals. It was just amazing. Then we had a 0-0 draw against Reading and a 1-1 draw against Leeds. Then we tasted defeat for the first time with a 1-0 defeat against Watford, a 1-0 defeat against West Brom, both away from home. And by this point, 4 games without a win, 2 draws, two defeats. It started to feel like, okay, maybe we were riding a wave of nice fixtures, and now reality is setting in a little bit. But then we got a 3-1 win against Middlesbrough, a 2-1 win against Fulham. Then it was a 1-1 draw. This area here was a really good run of form. We got 5 wins and 2 draws from 7 games. That was an amazing run of form to go with what we'd already done up here as well. Then we hit quite a sticky spell. Not really sure what happened. I stuck with the tactic, just kept playing and hoping it was going to change. But 3-2 defeat to Luton, a 3-2 defeat to Everton. Then we get a 1-0 win against Swansea, then a 3-1 loss against Sheffield United. But then we pick up a 2-0 win. Then a 1-1 draw with Burnley, followed by 2 more defeats, 2-1 to Sunderland, 4-3 to Leicester. Then a 3-1 win against Derby, 1-1 draw against Bristol City, the conquerors of Chelsea, of course. Then a 3-0 win against Middlesbrough, who would also beat up here in the previous fixture, and a 3-1 win against West Brom. So that's where we finished at the moment. We're about to go into an FA Cup tie as our next fixture. And let's get rid of that. And the FA Cup tie, as you can see, is against Sunderland. I'm not holding out hope we're going to win that one. We're away from home. They do average around 40,000 people at home, so we might get 30, 35,000 in the stadium and light, which will help the finances a little bit, I suppose. But yeah, it has just been amazing. If we actually have a look at the table and we look at the full table, there we are, 5th in the league, 14 wins, 6 draws, 7 defeats. Now, if you look at the away form, Our away form is not great. 30 goals scored is absolutely incredible away from home. I mean, if we do that, we are joint top with Everton for the amount of goals we've conceded. The amount of goals we've scored at home. But in terms of what we've conceded, 22, we're very much mid-table. And that's pretty much how we look in general when it comes to goals conceded, whether it's at home or away. But certainly at home, our record is much better. Third in the table away from home. At home, 29 goals scored, 15 goals conceded from 14 games. Our defensive record is actually not too bad at home. What I kind of have sort of taken from all this is that if we can, maybe we need an away tactic where we're just a little bit less attacking, maybe go on positive, maybe drop the defensive line a little bit. As it is at the moment, we're in the playoff places, only just. I mean, it is very tight between pretty much second and you'd say all the way down to Leeds in ninth. So I'm not going to change anything now because it's working at the moment. I mean, if we get a playoff place, I will be over the moon. But when you do look at the fact that 48 points, but Burnley are only 3 points ahead of us. You know, it is absolutely possible that we could get an automatic promotion place. And I really can't believe I'm saying that because I really don't think we're cut out for going into the Premier League. Looking at a tactic, it's as it was, but look at all these lovely green lines. Absolutely amazing. And Bengui has been sensational. 27 appearances, 7 goals and 6 assists from a right-back position. I mean, he has been immense. He really has. Akono Belongo out on the left, not quite as good, but then again, he's on a defend tactic, so we don't really expect much more from him. But everyone's just been good. And I've got to say, the start of the season, because we've had on and off injuries and whatever else, but the start of the season has got to be Gideon Tete. Now, to begin with, at the beginning of the season, you and Todd would have been here. I'm not sure who we had in the middle. Probably was Caterino in the middle with Jank Pata as his cover-up. And Josh Koroma would have been here. But Josh Koroma hasn't been great. He is older now. He's like 32, 33 years old. He's currently injured at the moment as well. Oh, there you go, 33 years old. So I decided to just bring in Gideon Tete and see how he got on. And in 22 starts, 6 sub-appearances, he's got 5 goals and 10 assists from this left-back. He's been doing better than the others. He's been incredible. And when you look at the guy, we brought him in from Waterford in the 29-30 season. It was in the January transfer window. We brought him in and he done like Caterino's style figures. You know, 18 appearances, 9 goals, 5 assists. That's 14 goal contributions from 18 games at 7.14. Last season, he dropped off quite a bit. I mean, to be fair to him, Koroma came in as his replacement and Tete, out of them 33 appearances, 28 of them were from the bench. 4 goals, 1 assist. Did get 2 player in the match, was at 6.85. But this season, starting more games, pretty much wasn't intending to start him. He wasn't meant to be a first choice player. And yeah, he's just doing incredible. And I can't believe how well he's doing this season. And the team as a whole, I mean, this is pretty much a set in stone team. If you look at the appearance numbers for anybody else, I mean, you and Todd had 13 appearances. And the only reason he's not playing is he's got an injury. He's just on his way back from injury at the moment. But if we go to the medical centre and have a look at the injuries, injury history, you and Todd, 13th of October, he picked up his injury. He's been out for 3 months, a fractured lower leg. Hopefully that doesn't impact him too much. Hopefully when he comes back, he can pick up again. We've only had 3 major injuries, and the other major injuries have only been 4 and 5 weeks. So we've actually been relatively good. I don't want to jinx things, but things have been looking pretty good on the injury front as well, which certainly does make a change. In terms of transfers, there's been nothing else coming in. I mean, we haven't had a transfer window since he was last with us, but we have had a few players going out on loan. So Max Rose was the youngster I was telling you about in the previous part of the video, who went out on loan to Folkestone. Since then, we've had some of our under 21s or under 18s, whatever they are, that we get on free transfers. We've had some of them go out on loan. So Graham Jones has gone out on loan to Wickham. A few bits of improvement there, which is nice to see. 16 appearances, 3 assists for the right back, 6.75, doing quite nicely. Sammy Ballinger, He's gone out on loan to Scunthorpe, another one of our right backs. 15 appearances, 1 goal, no assists, 7.07 rating. He's doing quite nicely as well. James Saunders isn't really starting as frequently as the other two are. 9 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists at 6.98. He's on loan at Buxton. Gunlauger Johnson has gone out on loan to Woking, a defensive midfielder. Only made 6 appearances. He's not really getting that much game time, but he does seem to be improving a little bit here and there, to be fair to him. They're all players we're probably going to be looking at selling on for a profit, and it'd be nice if we did get promoted to the Premier League because their value would go up as a result of that. Matthew Henderson-Hall wasn't happy that he's not getting game time with me. He had that from last season as well. I offered to send him out on loan. He agreed, and he's gone out on loan at Slough. Now, the fact that your level is Slough and they've only used you twice, then maybe that's a reason why you're not playing for a team in the Championship. You might want to just figure that out. 9.6k in loan fees for them, £10,000 in loan fees for altogether. It's not going to break the bank, or it's not going to make us millionaires, but something's better than a kick in the teeth. In terms of finances, we are down to 1.2 million in the bank at the moment. We probably could do with a nice little boost via gate receipts and what prize money and whatever from the FA Cup. So we'll have to see how we do against Sunderland. As a result of changing the expectations from attempt to avoid relegation to avoid relegation, our wage budget has been increased slightly, so we are now well under our wage budget. I'll say well under, we're about 6,000 under the wage budget, and we've got 328,000 in the transfer budget. So yeah, finances are looking reasonable at the moment. They're looking pretty good. If we have a look at our stats, Dara Costello, 17 goals this season. He's having a really good season. And Bengui with a highest average rate of 7.20. Gideon Tete's got more assists than anybody else. Charlie Sayers, their new centre-back, with 91% pass completion. Most player of the matches is a tie between Costello and Bengui. And Bengui's also a naughty boy. He's got 10 yellow cards, and Jacob Devane has picked up the only red card. In terms of goals scored, as you can see, we're the best in the Championship. Goals conceded, we're 10th in the Championship, so pretty much mid-table. And yeah, that's pretty much all I feel there is to bring you up to speed on in this second part of the video. I am conscious I want to keep it a little bit short because I don't want the video to be over an hour. I'd like it to be 45, 50 minutes type thing. So I will go away now, play through the rest of the season, and wish me luck, and let's see where we can finish. We've gone and got promoted. Automatic promotion from the Championship to the Premier League with Aveley. We've had the alert come through that we've started from the bottom and all the way to the top. Basically, we've gone bottoms up with Aveley, even though this isn't the bottoms up series. Second, 86 points. We got promoted ahead of Everton on a +7 goal difference. Burnley 1 point behind us. The reason why we're on this screen is because when I click to the inbox, it's going to give us our budgets for next season, and I dread to think what this is going to be. We've currently got a wage budget of £114,000 and a transfer budget of around £350,000. We're going to need something special if we're going to keep this team in the league. I mean, we've lost 12 games this season. You know, only Coventry in the top 6 have lost more than us. Right, let's see what our budgets are going to be, because, I mean, I don't even know what we were going to require, but here we go. Board set initial budgets. Oh, what am I going to be expecting? Let's just quickly get through the press conference. Rejoicing promotion success. Unbelievable promotion. I mean, McNamara has praised me. I'm just in shock. I really am. I don't know what to say, which probably isn't a good thing for a YouTube video, but here we go. Board set initial budgets. Oh my God. £23 million transfer budget. £350,000. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not going to be anywhere near enough to keep us in the Premier League, I don't think, but oh my God. Now, one thing I have already looked at, when it looked like there's a possibility we might actually get promoted, we're nearly £1 million in the red, we don't need to worry about that. Now we're getting the Premier League prize money. Is there a thing we can click on around here for the Premier League? Well, let's click on the Premier League. That'd do. Even though I spelled Premier, right? That's how out of things I am. I can't even spell now. Right, if we look at the rules, I was looking at the ground situation. Not clubs entering administration. Minimum stadium capacity is 5,000. So in theory, they don't need to expand their capacity. I'm hoping they do, but they don't. They don't need to. But we do have to have a minimum of 5,000 seats. And at the moment, we're on just over 2,000 seats. So they're going to have to pretty much turn the entire ground. It's going to have to become an all-seater stadium. They will need to put undersoil heating on our stadium as well. So, yeah, we've got a capacity of 5,750. If we look at our facilities, there is no undersoil heating, so we're going to have that installed. Only 2,074 seats, so that's going to have to go up by basically 3,000. When you look at this side of it and see that our average attendance is 5,359, that leaves less than 400 empty seats on average. Bearing in mind it's going to be the Premier League as well, they've absolutely got to expand the stadium. They've just got to do it. Now, I don't know if they are going to do it or not. We will come back for the end of season review once we get to that point. If we have any news about a stadium expansion or works they're going to put in or anything like that, then I'll bring you back beforehand to let you know. But otherwise, I'll see you for the end of season review. Support profile information in our hardcore has gone down, our family's gone down, but the core's gone up. It's now 32%. Fair weather is now up, it's 15%. Casual is 90%. We really need to improve corporate. We've only got 2% corporate. Support or influence on the board remains high, and our social media following has gone up by 10.3 thousand. We now have 72,000 followers on X or Twitter or whatever people are calling it these days. Looking at the rest of this, it doesn't really seem like there's a great deal. What do they want? They want us to play attacking football in the Premier League. Oh my dear God. Attempt to avoid relegation from the Premier Division, which means we should be fine. All the usual. Expand the stadium. Okay, so they have got that in there to expand the stadium, and that is in progress. Oh, we could be getting some really exciting information, everybody. Right, we accept the vision. Squad dynamics is pretty good, as you could imagine. Discuss plans for next season. Thank you all for coming. Let's talk about Premier Division aims. But I know it's going to be hard to play at a higher level. With that in mind, I'll be strengthening the squad to help a chance of staying up. Do we go for that? I mean, I am going to be strengthening the squad. Yeah, they're happy with that. That's the sort of reaction I'm after. Not going to discuss anything else because I don't want to upset anybody. Off you go. New season team report. End of season break. Staff number. Oh, wow. We get to add 3 more coaches. We can't have any more physios. We only allow 3 physios and only 1 sports scientist. We can have 2 more performance analysts, yup-de-doo, and we can have 2 more scout, well, 1 more scout, but 2 more than what we've got at the moment. And QPR want Knightsbridge, yeah, you can take him. I want him gone anyway. He's leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season. Oh, we've got it. Stadium capacity plans have been announced. Where is it? I saw it. There you go. Stadium capacity change plans announced. Let's just click through these a moment. Just get those gone from my thing. Right. Could they at least expand us to 10,000? I mean, I'd like a brand new stadium, to be honest, but we're not going to get that. Right. Let's see. Hey? The board have announced plans to modify the stadium capacity with the addition of 2,926 seats, including some installed in parts of the standing areas. As a consequence of this conversion, the overall capacity of the stadium will be reduced. The planned work will also include installing undersoil heating at the stadium. The planned work, costing an estimated 5.25 million, has to be carried out in order to comply with league requirements. It is expected that these works will take around 7 months to complete. While this development work is undertaken, the club will ground share with Southend at the Steve Tilson Stadium. So looking at this, we're not expanding the capacity, we are literally just putting in the extra seats. So we're still only going to have 5,750. Right, how many can you fit here? We're going to a stadium that can have 9,400. Oh my word. We're ground sharing with a National League side in the Premier League. Oh my dear God. Why are you not clicking? Come on. I want to go to our... Oh, that is our one, isn't it? Because that's who we're now ground sharing with. So if we click facilities... So it's just got that listed at the moment. Planned stadium works 1,800 seats from terrace conversion plus 1,126 additional seats for a total of expansion of parkside complete. So we'll be in there by Christmas. Oh my word. I'm still only favoured personnel. I'm pretty certain this is broken because you'd have thought by now we'd have had a whole list of people in this. I might actually have to change to the original Football Manager skin at some point just to see if that updates. Last time I'd done it, it didn't have any update to it. But, okay, right. Well, we know what the plans for the stadium are. We know we're going to be ground sharing with Southend. I think it's time for the end of season review. So this is the problem we're getting now. Everyone's wanting new contracts, even though they've all got percentage pay rises for promotion and all that. But I don't know if I really want to give this guy a new contract. He's here for another season. He's currently on 2.7 thousand. Let's discuss it with his agent. Let's see what's going on. I think that's fair enough. Blah, 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 blah. Right, let's have a chat with his agent. He's only been here a season. He hasn't been that great. It's 6.75. Discuss contract with new agent. It was like 12 to 15,000. I mean, Jacob Devaney, we've just offered a contract for £20,000 a week. I'd never thought I'd be offering contracts that big. Chidera Abassi and Christopher Shepherd have been given or offered new contracts anyway. I mean, this is just getting daft. End of season. So he's not asking for a minimum fee release clause, which is what the other three have all asked for. Jacob Devaney wanted his release clause to be £800,000, and I set it at 5 million with no negotiating it, like readied it out. Let's see if we can reduce him at all. Not by the looks of it. 11.5. Come on. There you go. He's accepted that. Right, we're going to have to be a bit choosy because if many more people want contracts, we're not going to be able to give them because we do want to bring in some better players. Right, next up will be the end of season review. End of season review, here we go. No trophies. We don't win trophies at Aveley apparently. Sign of the season, Edson Zergova, 7.04, 9 goals, 13 assists from 40 appearances. Quite happy to go along with that. Sam Curtis was pretty good for us actually in centre of defence. Board are quite happy with him. Mutungurwa back up to Devaney and Pratt. He's had a reasonable season. Quite happy with him as well. Charlie Sayers has been good. Capdevila, he'll probably be leaving. Neil Lovell, he's one of our youngsters, barely played for us, but he's coming along nicely. Akono Bilongo, who we've just offered a new contract to, he's been pretty decent. Ainsley Burlidge, another one who's barely played for us, had a couple of appearances. And Eddie Beach has not played at all. Season's results, attempt to avoid relegation with Sky Bet Championship. We finished second. 93% of our home attendance was filled. Dara Costello, the top goal scorer with 24 goals. He's really driven us this season. That's how the final table looked. Nothing to really speak of in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We lost to Sunderland in the third round of the FA Cup, so there's no run in that. Our biggest win was a 5-1 win against Plymouth. Our match remembers a 5-3 against Bristol Rovers, and the goal of the season came from Bruce Pratt in the 3-1 win against Leeds. Again, apparently we're not selling shirts. I think this game's getting bugged, I really do. Because I don't know how we're not selling shirts. But our sponsorship was up, our corporate and hospitality was up, and our match day commercial and retail was up. But competition prize money was down, presumably because of no run in the FA Cup and going out quite early in the Carabao Cup. and broadcast revenue down as well, presumably for the same reasons. We've had 5 new sponsorship deals worth £252,000 per year. What I did notice as well is apparently the Premier League's TV rights deal is up for renewal this summer we're in now. So it'd be interesting to see how much that is worth. That's our best 11. McNamara, Abassi and Bengui, Sayers and Curtis. That doesn't feel right. Devaney would be in there, but Zagova, Caterino, Todd and Costello. No record breakers, but Bengui was our fans player of the season. Young player of the season was Ewan Todd. He's done really well. He's really coming along nicely. Zagrova, our signing of the season. Bruce Pratt with the goal of the season. Top goal scorer, as we know, is Dara Costello, 25 goals. Zagrova with the most assists, 13. Ewan Todd with the most player of the match awards. Ewan Todd with the highest average rating. And Charlie Sayers as the most passes completed per 90 minutes. 48 passes per 90 minutes. Pretty good going. We've won 2 Manager of the Month awards. Aveley have been brilliant since day one. Their early season football was a joy to watch and they deservedly going up. Aveley dared to dream, and thanks to a great run way back at the start of the season, their promotion dreams came true. The Daily Star and 442. You always know you've arrived when you make it the Daily Star. Manager timeline, not really going to bother with that. And our best 11, McNamara in goal. Vaz is still in there at left back, bless his heart. McNamara was actually only about 20 appearances away from beating Vaz's all-time appearance record. Shepherd, Cook, Ingram, Devaney, Gyamfi's still there. Tete, Todd, Benton and Rush. Not sure there's anything else really worth showing you there. If we just go to the schedule and have a look at the schedule. The last time you was with me, we need to put the FA Cup on. Oh, it is on. So where is the FA Cup? Oh, there you go. So, yeah, lost 3-1 against Sunderland, then lost 3-1 against Fulham. Went on a nice little winning run before losing away from home to Watford. We did score in the 91st minute, but yeah, 2-0 early doors. Then went on a nice winning run again, and then towards the end of the season, when promotion was looking like a possibility, I mean, there's 1 win in 6 down here, a 0-0 draw against Blackburn, a 3-2 defeat to Plymouth, a 3-1 defeat against Burnley, a 1-1 draw against Sunderland. Then that was the game where we basically sealed promotion. We beat Sheffield United 2-1 because of their vastly superior goal difference. I knew as long as we didn't get hammered by Leicester and Everton, I think it was, didn't hammer whoever they were playing, then we would be promoted. We lost 2-0, but we got promoted on goal difference, as we said. Dara Costello, second in the top goal scorer. He was number 1 for quite a while, but he went on a bit of a goal drought. Rivera of Burnley ended up getting that. Ewan Todd with the highest average rating of the season as well. It's just been an amazing season all round. If we look at the medical centre for anyone that's interested in their injury history, 52 injuries, expected total 72. So we've actually done really well in that as well. Our staffing situation is looking like this. We will be recruiting some more staff. We've got 3 scouts we can bring in now. We've got 3 more coaches. We'll not bring in a goalkeeping coach. We'll probably bring in a fitness coach because we do need to improve that. And yeah, everything's looking really rather lovely. Interesting to see how some of these might change. Jacob Devaney, for example, has just signed his new contract. According to this, he's still only worth £375,000 to £600,000. I'm hoping once it's all ticked over that some of these valuations go up, because we might need to look at trying to move some players on as well as bringing players in. The transfer window for next season is going to be so tough. But that's probably going to be the end of the video, folks. We've got promoted to the Premier League. The next episode next weekend is going to be, I think it's going to be an awesome episode, quite honestly. It's probably going to be a really tough episode. Don't be surprised if we end up going straight back down to the Championship again. But this team just continues to surprise me. From the Vanarama National League South to the Premier League in 9 seasons, it's still not properly sunk in. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next weekend for the next episode of the Aveley Road to Glory Save. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.